Everyone, it's Marquise Martin Hayes, and it's time for the Monday Moment. Let's jump right in. If the dream is big enough, then the facts don't count. I've been in some meetings with friends and peers and business partners lately, and we've been discovering some things that a lot of the time, the dreams and passions that I had, the brilliant business ideas that I had, the opportunities that I wanted to take that I missed, that I didn't cash in on, that never came to life were mostly because when the dream hit, it was big. I was ready to rock. I saw it. But somewhere along the way, I stopped paying attention. I stopped figuring out what made it what it was. And I started to be bombarded by fears, not real fears. Fear isn't real anyway. It's the perception that we have that we grab a hold and internalize that then paralyzes us. I begin to let those things drop in and impact how I showed up. But when I really began to look back at the dream, I began to understand, it began to reopen me. So today, when I talk about finding it, what's the it for you that makes a dream so big that the facts simply don't matter? Now, when I say the facts don't matter, that's exactly what I mean. The idea that the limitation you see is trash. Think of the number of ideas that are in the marketplace right now that probably made no sense to you or that were an accident, sort of like post-it notes. It was a freak accident. But now we don't live our life without it. In fact, we have digital applications that are like post-it notes, which was an accident. What is it that you've been holding on to in your life that you've been wanting to manifest? What is it? Is it a business? Is it a relationship? What is it? And at what point did your dream begin to get small? Did you begin to give up? That you began to give in, that you began to say, you know what, this is as good as it gets, so I'll accept it. Friends, I tell you what, to be resigned like that sucks. I've been resigned to many things in my life, but the ultimate thing is to get back up, to find a way to really look at it intricately. So, for example, one of the businesses that I'm looking at right now with some of my partners, we've been working through it, slowly putting the pieces together, and then today it hit me. Let's run the numbers because that'll determine how much effort we want to really put into it, right? Let's run the numbers and see what we're actually working with. What's actually possible? I ran the numbers, and oh my God, even on the conservative measures, it starts to spark a flame. And then I began to share that with my peers, and we began to look at it super conservatively. Was it the numbers that made everything different? It helped. But what it did more importantly was it reignited the flame within all of us. And one of them said, it's like putting fire under our feet to get us to re-engage, to step into this thing we've been talking about, this thing that's going to require a little more work than we probably like to do to get it done. The question I have for you today is, what is it for you? What's the it for you? What is it that would make you do something that you actually really want to do? Right? A lot of times, growing up in faith, one of the things we talk about is don't sin. Well, the funny thing about that is that all it really is walking away from who you actually are. That's the funny thing about it. It's not like it's some horrible thing. It's just not being true to who you are internally, your best version of yourself. Well, when I look at the things that I want to do and the things that you want to do, it's really the shrinkage is not who you are. That's loss of vision. That's loss of motivation. That's lack of strategy. That's lack of partnership. But what if you allowed someone else to help you? What if, on a conservative measures, could make a difference in your life? What if you'd actually just wake up and be ready to do what you desire to do versus doing what you have to do, right? We all talk about, well, I'm doing what I got to do, right? I don't know. That's questionable. Do you have to do what you're doing? A lot of times we just do stuff because we put systems in place that say, now that I have this, I got to pay for that. So therefore, I got to do this to pay for that, when that may or may not be true. Maybe that old model of that system that you currently have just needs to be dismantled. Or maybe you need to take a different approach to get it done. But the idea that you have to do anything means you've lost sight of who you are. It means you're disconnected from the dream. It means you haven't found it. So what is it? What's the it factor that will turn you back on? That would ignite your fire, that will set you ablaze to make you want to show up in your life? What is it that will make you want to sacrifice, give up stuff, start from scratch, let it all go so that you can have peace of mind? You can have gratefulness. You can wake up with purpose so that you can wake up with passion so that you can manifest the big dream you saw that would probably do more than what you're currently doing anyway, that would bring more satisfaction, possibly more finances. Like, what if? So here's an exercise we did today for the fun of it. So we were looking at our numbers, right? You want to be conservative. And so we looked at the market, and the market's like millions of people. Then we said, what if we only had 1% of the market? And I see like this GIF, as if I had a lot of hair. It's like my hair blown back because of touching an electrical socket, and I'm lit ablaze, realizing that if I only had 1% of the market, my entire existence would change. Everything I know about what I'm capable of doing is all of a sudden possible with 1% of the market. So for the fun of it, we decided, let's look at 0.5% of the market. And it was like all over again. I woke up in a new way. My peers, my business partners woke up in a new way. Like, let's get it. Let's go do what we need to do so we can have the freedom we deserve to have. And you know what the funny thing about it is? I don't have to go out and get a new certification. I don't have to go do anything brand new other than what I already have done over the years. I just need to organize it and package it in a way that meshes with my partners and what they're packaging, and bring it all together as one unit. Think about that. What are you already doing? What do you already have that you just let go of, or you lost sight of the vision for it? What's the it that will get you back in the game? Is it the capital you can raise? Is it the reach, the impact you can have in others' lives? Is it the freedom to do what you'd like to do versus what you have to do? What is it? Is it the next vacation? Well, I don't know. You tell me, but you've got to find the it, or it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. I've been looking at my life a lot over the last few years, and this idea that I'm going to die is very real. I'm not being morbid, but I realize I've got to live. I've got to stop allowing anything other than what is so about me and about what I see to manifest. Because if I do anything other than that, I'm dying before death even arrives and haven't fully lived. Listen, it's Monday, baby. I just want to fire you up, help you find the it. Because if the dream is big enough, the facts of your situation do not matter. This was Marquise Martin Hayes. See you next week.